Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Earlier today, One Kenya Alliance principles, led by Kalonzo Musoka, Gideon Moi, Cyrus Jirongo, and Martha Karua, held a press conference where they made it clear that they are open to forming alliances with like-minded parties. But they were also very categorical that they might not form an alliance with William Ruto's team. But from that press conference, one person was missing, Jimmy Wanjigi. And Kenyans have been talking about that. Because in the recent days, Jimmy Wanjigi has been seen as a very close ally of Kalonzo Musoka. And in fact, he has been accompanying Kalonzo Musoka in some of their recent tours and rallies. But today, he was not there. He was not present when those principals were actually signing their agreements. And this is what Kalonzo Musoka had to say.
So you say your coalition agreement is ready. Do you have an internal consensus on positions here at this stage? Then also, in your recent tour of Ukambani
and Kirinyaga. Just 4 meetings, because we're accused of boardroom discussions, we only went out to 4 places. Imagine what will happen when we cover the whole country. And we are set.
But specifically on the Ukambani one, you had another partner in the campaign in the name of Jimmy Wanjigi.
Oh, I see.
He also one of those that you'll be speaking to.
No, Jimmy made it very clear that he's in ODM. And until they resolve their own issues as ODM, he's not on the table.
And on the issue of agreement consensus, at this stage?
Well, the technical team have done a beautiful job. They will brief the principals on that, and we will. I'm quite sure. You know, now these are people who know each other very well. You don't expect any disagreements, even on the power sharing matrix or whatever the matrix, or the structure of our own leadership. I don't think there'll be any issues. We will be moving. The important thing is the commonality of approach and interest, always guided by what is in the best interest of Kenyans.
That's Kalonzo and his Oka Brigade when they were signing some kind of an agreement. Yes. And you can see Kalonzo stating clearly that Jimmy Wanjigi has some issues to sort out in ODM. And upon Oka holding that press conference, for the better part of today, it was widely seen and believed that Oka team were maybe angling to joining, or rather Oka team were being seen as if they were tilting towards Azimio. Jimmy Wanjigi, some few hours ago, maybe in response to that, had this to say. Jimmy Wanjigi, democracy is not about a few individuals deciding who has the right or not to lead this country. The people will make the final decision come August 9th. Ni wakati wa mashujaa wapya fagia wote. Then he shares that video there. Listen into that video. Yes. That's Jimmy Wanjigi's tweet and a video. And that video was Jimmy Wanjigi some few days ago while they were in a campaign tour in Ukambani. And from that video, it's very clear that Jimmy Wanjigi is trying to persuade Kalonzo not to join or align himself with Azimio team. But from that tweet again, it's clear Jimmy Wanjigi is not a happy person. What does that mean politically? That's our analysis and discussion right now. If in case you've just bumped here for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you, God bless Kenya. The first meaning, or rather the first thing coming out clearly, Jimmy Wanjigi might have been kicked out of Oka, or he might have deliberately bolted out. And I tend to believe that is so because he realized maybe that he could not achieve his mission in Oka. And Jimmy Wanjigi's his mission in Oka was to persuade Kalonzo Musoka not to align himself with Azimio. And he has just realized that this team of Oka might be aligning themselves to Kalonzo Musoka. So he's left with no option but to bolt out or to be kicked out of Oka. That is something coming out clearly from this. That's something coming out very clearly. Jimmy Wanjigi might have left Oka. Secondly, Jimmy Wanjigi seems to appear to be having a personal grudge with Raila Amolo Odinga. So Jimmy Wanjigi in this case, it's also very possible that Raila's political opponents and political enemies might have been cleverly trying to use Jimmy Wanjigi to persuade Kalonzo Musoka not to work with Raila Amolo Odinga. And in this case, names are being mentioned, the likes of William Ruto. So Jimmy Wanjigi's main mission in Oka is also questioned. What was his main mission in Oka? It also comes out clearly that he might be having some personal grudge or a bone to pick with Raila Amolo Odinga. And then thirdly, Jimmy Wanjigi is exposing his doublespeak. He's just exposing his doublespeak. When he says that democracy is not about a few individuals deciding who has the right, he's just trying to expose his doublespeak. Because it's the same Jimmy Wanjigi some years back. At that time, Uhuruto government raided his house, and Jimmy Wanjigi, while defending himself, he stated clearly that Jubilee's government was formed or rather negotiated in his house. And then here today, he's telling Kenyans that democracy is not about few individuals. While it's Jimmy Wanjigi, who together with Ruto and Uhuru sat somewhere in Jimmy Wanjigi's house and maybe shared power. That is just doublespeak. And that also just is somehow similar to what we are seeing with the Tanga side. They say one thing today, tomorrow they are saying completely a different thing. Jimmy Wanjigi is just exposing his doublespeak here. And then another point, from that press conference, it's very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that Kalonzo and his team are thinking of a possibility of joining Azimio, or rather of working together with Azimio, working together with Raila Amolo Odinga. And that can also explain the reason why Jimmy Wanjigi was not present for that signing agreement, when those agreements were being signed. It's very clear that Jimmy Wanjigi was disappointed. He might have been a bitter man by the fact that Kalonzo and his team might be thinking of a possibility of joining Raila Amolo Odinga. So that also just explains and exposes that Jimmy Wanjigi might be working for other foreign forces outside of Azimio, outside of Oka. So most definitely, Jimmy Wanjigi in this case might be working for maybe William Ruto. Because in the event you are not aligning yourself to Azimio or to Oka, the most probable maybe group you might be aligning yourself, if we are to be truthful here, is only William Ruto's wing. So I might be tempted to conclude that Jimmy Wanjigi, as things stand out today, he might be working for William Ruto. Yes, he might be working for William Ruto. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did state when we were starting, if you've just bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. And to those watching us outside Kenya for the very first time, kindly drop a comment. Let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. Drop a comment, please. And if possible, also give this video a like and also subscribe. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here by constantly giving our videos likes, constantly dropping your comments. God bless you. God bless Kenya. And then earlier today, or rather some few hours ago, there was a video about Jimmy Wanjigi. We did earlier some few hours ago. We had to delete the video, or rather to pull it down, because we realized that some of the information we had actually used on the video, some were not actually verified. So when I realized the information was not actually verified, I had to pull down that video. Because in this YouTube channel, we are here to give you the accurate information as it is. We are not here to peddle lies or to give some information that are not actually verified. So we had to pull that video. So I'm very sorry for some of our fans who had actually watched that video. We had to pull it down anyway. So this is the actual truth of actually what happened, what Jimmy Wanjigi actually said, and actually what Jimmy Wanjigi posted today, some few hours ago. God bless you. God bless Kenya.